Hello, friends. Welcome back. I am Mrs. Imagination, Angela Imagination. You can call me either one. I'm so glad that you're here to see the activities that I planned to go along with our picture book entitled Fireflies by Julie Brinklow. Oh, this was such a great book. I personally loved it because I remember as a child, I caught fireflies. I remember going outside and capturing them. So I really made some connections to this book. But for our first activity, let's start with our writer's notebook. And I want us to put a new heading page, because do you know what it's called when an author writes a story, a book, based on something that happens in their life? I'm going to show you what it's called. I'm going to write it down. This word is a little bit hard to say. You may have never heard of it. It's called a memoir. Yes. Memoir. So an author is writing about their experiences, things that have happened in their life. What other word can you think that starts with mem? Yes. It's from their memories. So I'm going to write this underneath, memories. So it's when we remember. Yes, so it's memories. Yeah. And when you're reading a book that is a memoir, it's going to use the word I. In fact, let's look. Let's see how it starts. On a summer evening, I looked up from dinner. So now here's the tricky part. Julie is a girl's name, so I assume Julie is a girl, but her main character is a boy, and that's okay. I bet this is one of her memories, and she just in turn made the main character a boy, but she shared a memory. You know what? There is so much that we can talk about concerning memoirs, but today I want to talk to you about how memoirs it's not like an autobiography where you write the whole story of your life. It's where you capture, I'm going to write this down, moments in time. So you don't tell everything about your life. You share some moments in time. And Julie Brinklow shared about the summertime when she would catch fireflies. You can probably think of lots already of moments in time that would be so fun to write a story about. Maybe it was just one night and about a dream you had. Or maybe you could write a story, a memoir type story, about an experience you had on a day at the park, or a hike through the woods, or even something very, very, very short, like falling asleep at night? What helped you fall asleep? There are just so many things you can write about. We're going to revisit some memoirs as Mrs. Imagination shares some more picture books with you. But for right now, we've got us a special section called Memoir. And you know, you can use this to make lists of special moments in time that you would like to write about. That would be great. All right, our second activity, you remember how much I loved the illustrations. And do you remember what Julie Brinklow used to make every illustration? Every one. Every one. We'll just use this page opening. What did she use? She used a pencil, because these are all pencil sketches. And she used, let's get well, this one has some. She used the color blue. Now, she didn't use the color blue a lot. You have to look really closely. This one doesn't have any, if much. But on this one, you see a little bit of blue right there. And a little bit of blue in his covers. Yeah. But she used pencils and blue. Yeah. And of course, yellow. Yeah. So she used 3 colors. That's all she used in the entire book, were those 3 colors. What if you drew a picture using only 3 colors? I'm going to do that right here. Well, I'm going to use my pencil first just to sketch. I'm going to draw kind of a picture, and you tell me what you think it is. No, I'm getting close. You might not be able to see it from here because it's on white paper. Oh, what do you think that is? It's a jar, okay? May not be the best jar you've ever seen, but it is a jar. And so I could take, now that I've got my pencil, I could take it and I can shade in any parts that I want to be dark. See how I could turn it on its side? And I can do that. It's called shading. And maybe I want to add the yellow. Oh, it's kind of difficult to see this. Yellow, isn't it? Yellow on white doesn't show up very well, but I'm going to put a lot of yellow. Well, not a lot, but some yellow in there. And then I'm going to, whoops, get my pencil, lightly shade over it. You see the yellow? I'm going to fill the jar with the shading. I'm going to go over the yellow some more and make it brighter. I bet you can guess what each one of these yellow dots are. They are ladybugs. And then I'm just going to use a touch of blue up here. Not going to make it dark. I'm not even going to color in every little bit of it. Just a little blue up there. Now, that may not look very blue to you. But see how I've done a sketch using only 3 colors? That's fun. I'm going to tell you something even more fun. Make a nighttime picture. Well, what do you need for a nighttime picture? Well, you need a black background. So I did the easy thing and got a black piece of paper. And I'm going to use some watercolors. So I have some water. And instead of paint brushes, I'm going to use Q-tips. Well, since I'm painting on black paper, if I put black or brown, maybe even dark blue, it's not going to show up very well. So I'm going to use some light colors like yellow. Let's see if they will show up. Let's see if I make some dots. These are my fireflies. And I'm going to make a big, well, not super big, but I'm going to get this white on here. And I'm doing something white. What do you think I'm making that's white? That could be a moon. Do you remember in the story, Julie Brinklow said that when the boy set the fireflies free, they danced around the moon like stars. That's kind of what I have done here, is I've made some fireflies and they're going around the moon like stars. I don't think they went all the way up to the moon, but it may have looked like it. Oh, that's fun. Now, the last activity is if you have fireflies at your house and you want to catch some fireflies, there's several ways you can do it, but the way that the author remembers doing it is with a jar, an empty jar. And you want to make sure it is clean inside, because you want the fireflies to live. That's our goal, is for them to live. We don't want them to have there to be something in there that they could smell or taste that would kill them. So get a jar, an empty jar. Now, of course, you know, this is a supervised activity, so you need a parent or an adult, someone who gives you permission to get a jar. And, you know, in our story, the little boy used scissors, and that's the way I remember doing it as a child. But a safer way would be if you have an ice pick or just something very, very sharp that could poke holes, and you just have to hold it tight. Did you hear that? You see? It's in there, and it poked a hole. And I would have to poke several. I love the sound. Boom. So I've got 3 holes. Now I might do more than that if I were going to catch some tonight. And you take your lid off while you're going to try to catch them. This is the way I did it. Our author in the story the little boy used his hand and put his hand in there. That'd be kind of hard. I would go around, and if I saw one, I'd get really close and then try to capture it in there and see it. Oh, that sounds like fun. But it is an activity that you need supervision. You need to have some adults out there with you, or more grown people. Oh, wow. I hope you enjoyed these activities today. I've had such a delightful time sharing them with you. And it's all because we read a picture book. I look forward to your next visit. Until then, see ya.